This is problem number 3 from section 2.5. In this problem they say solve the absolute value of 9x plus 8 equal the absolute value of x minus 11. So for this problem, because we have double absolute value signs, this can kind of throw people for a loop here. But if we think about how we've solved every other problem, let's just say if we had absolute value of 9x plus 8 equal 5. How did we solve that problem? Well, we would say that 9x plus 8 would equal 5, or 9x plus 8 would equal negative 5. Okay, so we would essentially say that what we got inside the absolute value sign needed to be either a 5 or it needed to be a negative 5, right? We basically just took what was out here and we set an equation equal to the positive version and set an equation equal to the negative version. We're going to do the same thing for this problem here. And remember, absolute values are always going to give you positive numbers, correct? So the absolute value on this side will give you a positive, the absolute value on this side will give you a positive. So here's how we're going to start this. We're going to write this 2 different ways, and I'm going to show you that essentially we can ignore a couple ways to solve this, or a couple versions. So we're going to start by saying 9x plus 8 is going to equal the positive version of this, and it's going to equal the negative version of this. So we're going to say 9x plus 8 equals the positive version of this would just be obviously x minus 11. And we could say, I guess if you wanted to, we could have put a plus sign out here, but we're just doing the positive version of that. And then, or 9x plus 8 can equal the negative version of this, which would be negative x minus 11, like so. Let's go ahead and solve this. And when we go to solve this, we subtract the x over. On this side, we get 8x plus 8 equals negative 11. We subtract the 8 over, and we get 8x equals negative 19. Finally, we divide by 8, and we get x equals negative 19 over 8. Or, distribute here, 9x plus 8 equals negative x minus, plus 11, because the negative and negative become a positive. Let's add the x over to this side. We get 10x plus 8 equals 11. Subtract the 8 over. We get 10x equals 3. Divide by 10, we get x equals 3 over 10. Okay, so we have our two of our answers, but we only went with 9x plus 8 equal to the positive version of this and the negative version of this. What if we did this backwards? What if we said, okay, what if we say x minus 11, the absolute value of that is going to equal the positive version of this and the negative version of this? So I'm just going to kind of flop this and write this in a different version. So let's just say we say absolute value of x minus 11 equals absolute value of 9x plus 8. Well, in that case, then we would write this as x minus 11 equals positive 9x plus 8. And then x minus 11 equals negative 9x plus 8. So I'm giving you the other version, the other way we could have went with this. And let's just see if we end up with the same answers. Well, as you can see, that this equation is the exact same as this equation, so we're definitely going to end up with the same answer here. Let's go ahead and add the 11 over. So we get x equals 9x plus 19. Subtract the 9x over, and that's negative 8x equals 19. And then divide by negative 8, and you get x equals negative 19 over 8. As you can see, we got the same answer, right? This is one answer. This is the other answer. In this version, we got the right answer, correct? But it's the same as this version. So we don't need to do this extra step. So what I'm showing you here is that we don't have to go and do it both directions. We only have to do it one direction. We only have to say that this first absolute value sign equals the positive version and the negative version of this other one. Let's check it out here. We get x minus 11 equals negative 9x minus 8. Add the 9x over, you get 10x minus 11 equals negative 8. Add the 11 over and you get 10x equals 3. And you can see where this is going. You divide by 10, you get x equals 3 over 10, which is the same solution that we got right here, so we don't have to do this version. So when you're solving the equations with absolute value equal to another absolute value, you essentially solve them the exact same way as any other absolute value problem. You just take the first set of absolute values and you say that's going to equal the positive version of this and the negative version of this, like we did here, positive x minus 11 and negative x minus 11, and then solve and we'll get the solutions. Now, to check these, obviously plug those back in, and you'll see that both of those are solutions for the absolute value equation.